In this last example, we used an if statement to control the flow, the program flow. If this evaluated to true, this Boolean expression, a Boolean expression evaluates to true or false. If this Boolean expression evaluates to true, then we move in here. Else, if this one evaluates to true, then we move here. If neither of these evaluate to true, then we move to the final else. We've used here an equivalency operator. So is it greater than, is it less than, is it equal to? That's equivalency. But now what we're going to do is we're going to do a case where we use a logical operator using and, ors, and nots. In this case we're going to use an and to show how that we can use more complex logic in our program flow, in our design of our algorithms. So what we'll do in this instance is we're going to have a variable called height. This could be for a fairground ride. I'm just going to call it h, and I'm going to assign the value 0, and I'm going to prompt to enter the height. Enter your height, and I'm going to read the height into my space in RAM memory, temporary memory, and that space is called h. So I create a space called h. It's an integer, a whole number. I've assigned the value of 0. I'm going to prompt the user to enter a value for height. I'm going to read that value into h. And then I'm going to say if height is greater than 0 and height is less than 1, then we'll say you are not tall enough for the roller coaster. Else, if height is greater than or equal to, else if h is greater than or equal to 1 and h is less than or equal to 3, then we will say you are tall enough and then we'll say else enter a value greater than 0 and less than 3. The reason I put that is if this statement is true, if height is greater than 0 and less than 1, then not tall enough. Here, if it's greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 3, then they are tall enough. But if neither of these evaluate to true, then the number that they input must be less than 0 or greater than 3. So we put this as the last one here. And let's test this. Enter your height. I'm going to say I'm 1, so I am tall enough. And if my height is 0.5, enter value greater than 3, and I'll run it one last time, and if my height is 4, enter a value greater than 3. And let's try and enter a value of negative, just to check all our boundary values of -1, -1. And once again, this is less than 0, so this one comes up. So this is another case of using an if-then or if-then else statement, but this time what we used is a logical operator. We used equivalency, that's equivalency, but this one, the and statement, is a logical operator. Other logical operators are or and not, so there are other logical operators we can use to make a more complicated statement or rule for our algorithm. Thank you.